Hello. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why I was muted. Should not have been. It's fixed. So y'all probably just couldn't hear me. Okay. Was it just during the charts when the charts got up? I'm sorry. All right. What I was trying to say. Pre-market process. We got SPY gapping up this morning, it looks like. We got a little gap up on SPY after a really, really rough week. Okay. After a really rough week for SPY. Friday got a little bit of a bounce in, trying to gap up this morning. So we'll see if we get some more bounce in the markets this week or not. But as a general rule of thumb, man, when markets are getting beaten up badly, I like to stay safe to the long side, man. Okay. Generally speaking, my frequency of trading will come down. My size will come down. It's just part of process for me. All right. Let's get into the scan. TMBR, top percent gainer, floats like 3 millish. Coffee. Acquisition. Ignore. To be acquired on timber. That's an ignore. Why? Because they were acquired for a price. The stock will settle at that price and won't move. No need to watch it. Looks like more bottom bouncers on my scan this week. That was one of the main themes of last week was bottom bouncers. Okay, what are bottom bouncers? These are tickers that have been really beaten down. This is a bottom bouncer is a term I coined back in 2017. Okay, I just noticed really, really beaten down stocks would run. And when I say really beaten down, I mean sub 50, 40, 30 stocks that have faded, from $1, $2, $3. The faster the fade, generally speaking, the faster the bounce. But we've seen all sorts of bottom bouncers this year. All right. It's been one of my most fruitful strategies, or it's not in and of itself a strategy, but scenarios. Okay. It's a scenario. And then it's obviously how you're going to play it pattern wise and stuff like that. SXTC gapping up from 14 cents. Huge run this morning to 50 cents already, 14 to 50. Now they're pulling back to 25. A little bit big of a run for my liking. All right, a little bit big of a run for my liking. So if I were to play this morning, just straight pattern wise, I'd be looking for a 25 hold, a 20 hold, and then literally just a push towards VWAP or high of day. In this case, high of day is below VWAP. VWAP's below pre-market highs. So when I'm looking at a chart like this in the morning, what I'm doing is I'm going to start mapping out some levels, right? I'm going to start mapping out some levels. I'm going to take pre-market highs. I'm going to take probably like the VWAP area, that area there, which will be VWAP out the gate. And I'm also going to look at, let's see, wherever high of day ends up being, okay? High of day is going to end wherever high of day ends up being out the gate. So if the market open price is here at like 30 cents, that's what I'll watch as a level. Wherever this kind of opens and sets a high the first minute candle, I will set a level there, all right? This is y'all, this is the bread and butter of what I do every single morning on gappers. That sets me apart. And there's way more to this, obviously, way more to it. But this is what sets me apart and what I do from what everyone else does every morning that makes me profitable or taking very small losses in the morning while giving me very, very set levels of risk reward. So if SXTC opens up, pushes to like 27 cents or opens at 27 cents and that's a high and then starts to pull and I get 20 cents-ish, and it's not exactly ideal, but what I am going to be looking for is a bottom reversal on a pool. And this is my favorite pattern every single morning. Bread and butter, everyday gapper kind of idea. All right. Now, like I said, the frequency at which I play them, the size that I'm going to get is all going to be dependent on so many different things that I try to keep my students up to date with every single day from my process. Okay. But from a basic perspective, I'm looking to dip buy. I'm looking to find great risk reward to my single. Okay, so wherever this pool, say 20 cents, say 27 cents is that high day. Well, I'm looking for a penny risk, half a penny risk, 2 cents max. Okay, so that if I get it back to 27 cents, I'm getting 1 to 3, 1 to 5 on my single. Then if I get to VWAP, then I'm getting 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 10. Then if I get pre-market highs, maybe some of these other levels, 40 I'd probably watch, 37 I'd probably watch, just some of these little areas that rejected. That's bonus, man. So if I'm getting back to 50 cents, I can get 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 30 while everyone's just literally trying to buy it at 50 cents. Everyone's entries are a break of pre-market highs, break of freaking VWAP, break of high of day. All of your guys' entries are my exits. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I don't like just shouting out tickers and be like, this is what you should watch. I like to give you the ideas behind my process, my trading process that's made me money over time in a super safe fashion. Half a cent risk, penny risk, specifically on bottom bouncers. Okay, guys, this is a very specific. Now, the pattern itself, I can transpose this gap and crap reversal idea to day 2 runners, pretty much anything. All right, I still use these ideas behind my entry and my risk reward. And I believe if I'm trading this garbage, don't get it twisted. These penny stocks are the worst stocks on the planet from a fundamental perspective, from every perspective. That's why they're trading at the prices in which they're trading at. A lot of them have toxic dilution. A lot of them have bad stuff going on. But that's the idea. Let's get into other tickers. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does. Where you guys are buying, you should be selling if you want to make money over time. And when I say selling, I don't mean my entire position. I mean, I size out. So if I get 20 cents, specifically, the better the market, the better this pattern is working. I size out maybe a quarter into 27, maybe a quarter into 32, and maybe the rest of it into 49 or a quarter into 49 and let the rest ride. It's going to totally depend case by case and market by market. There's no one size fits all. You guys have to understand that. But if you're living within this realm, this idea that you're selling into the levels that everyone else likes to buy at, you're putting yourself right out of the 90% immediately, because that's all people do, I promise, when they're trying to long or dip buy randomly. Now, if this doesn't set up and reverse in the first couple minutes, not couple minutes, I like to wait, especially Monday mornings, about 5-10 minutes or so, to let these things set up. Okay, I'm not just dip buying it, you guys, just because it gets to 20 cents this morning, and I may not even trade it. The idea is let it set up. If it doesn't set up in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to switch to the 5-minute candles. I'm going to let the chart develop and look for more of an hour reversal, hour and a half reversal, something like that. Same idea, same targets. So there's not too much. There are many strategies that come from looking at stocks like this, as opposed to waiting for them to always break highs, which is stupid. When they're breaking highs, I like to take profits into and out of all these levels, by the way. So I'll sell into 27 and out of 27. I'll sell into 33 and out of 33, into VWAP and out of VWAP, because how many times do you see VWAP break and then get stuffed? Or vice versa. That's the idea behind what I do. Let me keep eyes on some of these other things. That's CRKN. Okay. Let's get through some more tickers. Sorry, y'all. And I'm not looking at questions right now. I'm just getting through tickers because this is my job. All right. CPHI, another bottom bouncer, up 33% or so. I'd be watching 25, 26. Don't overcomplicate it. Kind of pre-market support levels, which not great levels in terms of long term, but for the next 15, 30 minutes, they can be important. CPHI, another bottom bouncer here. When I'm looking at daily chart, I'm looking for gap downs, and I'm still going to be looking at these bottom bouncers. They're still the most fruitful last week from a percentage gain standpoint. Looking for gap downs on CPHI. That would be concerning from a fundamental standpoint. Don't see much. Same sort of idea there. Same sort of idea there. 26, if it opens at 30, 30 is a target. 32, where VWAP will be, as a target. 37 will be a target. 45, very similar to SXTC there. TIRX says the float's 2.4. Is there news? Not that I see. Nothing recent, at least. So, important to note that the top 3% gainers right now, none of them have catalyst. They are just random bounces as of now, it looks like. There was an SC form, an SC13 form on TIRX, but that was on the 18th, which was Friday. So I suppose you could count that as a catalyst. Chinese stuff, it looks like. Wicked chart. Oh, damn, that's a PND right there for sure. Yeah, this is one of the old Chinese pumps, y'all. TIRX, one of the old Chinese pumps. I tend to stay away from them. Gapping up to $1.40 right now. How much time we got? Oh, we're doing good. We still have 27. We still have 17 minutes. Okay. I can tell you right now, my scan is weak. My scan is weak, and it's going to be a morning where I'll be looking for just singles and not getting too crazy. I'm listening to the markets. I don't need to predict the next big runner. That's not my game. My game is wait for the next big runner, right? When markets get slow, especially, the game is I'm not trying to see what is not in the markets, you guys. You have to get it through your heads. It's not that way. I let the markets tell me what to do. I let the markets determine the frequency of my trading and how much I'm pushing size and stuff like that, right? I let the markets tell me and the patterns tell me what patterns to play. It's not the same patterns every morning. They change. For example, this pattern that I just showed you on sxtc, this idea, right? This reversal pattern was awesome. December through March, and then April through June pretty much sucked. Started picking up again late July. So, for example, this is a pattern I was laying off of it. I was not trading this pattern for like 3 months. Okay, my favorite fucking pattern, right? The reverse split pump, the favorite strategy I have ever created, and I think the greatest ever from a macro perspective, the best ever penny stock strategy. That one I didn't play for a couple years. Till recently again, till this year, right? So get that through your heads. It's not one thing that's going to make you money over time. It's many things. It's many different strategies and many different setups over time, especially to the long side. There's creativity involved. There's a lot of adapting involved, of course, with all trading. But when we're talking these longs, the patterns are changing. It's a moving target, okay? SXTC, you already know what I feel about that. CPHI, same sort of idea as SXTC. TIRX, I'll likely ignore. Most likely. Okay? The old Chinese pump. I'll likely ignore it. Maybe there's a single there for you. Maybe not. GFGD, my next top percent gainer, a little bit higher priced. Pipe offering there for long-term growth. I don't know what to make of this chart, honestly. Looks like a recent uplisting or IPO or something. Big pool. The growth for good. It's a SPAC. Okay. Could go. Where's my risk? Where's my reward? How much size can I get with that kind of volume and that kind of liquidity and spread? And the answer is I can't get that much size. I don't really want it. Could it do something totally funky? Yes. Do I catch these ones that do really funky things that look really funky? Usually not. Okay. Usually not, unless I have some sort of macro reason to be in it. So for those of you who like these kind of ideas, it's not really for me personally. They do have a PR at least, which is that pipe financing that I told you about, but I'll leave it unless I see SPACs run super hard. ELIQ is my next gainer here. Electric Power announces new addition to its board of directors. This was the 17th. Daily chart. Wow. Already tried to bounce on a little bit of volume here. That's an interesting thing going on right here. Looks like another one of these SPACs likely, or... Interesting. Very interesting. Just check the PRs here for ELIQ quickly. New addition to board of directors was, like I said, the last PR. So I don't know. There's no catalyst there necessarily. Maybe worth a watch. Same sort of idea on any of this stuff, right? I would need some weakness, and then I would sell in a high a day, VWAP, and pre-market highs, and keep it simple. If I were to play it, which I'm not sure, I'll watch it. I'll watch it out the gate. Someone mentioned GER. That's also that happens to be the next top percent gainer. Just been pretty much dog crap, you know, for a while. And volume wise, had some big volume days, right? This is when I'm looking at daily charts in particular, volume is just a big thing for me, man. So big volume days, couldn't run in the twos. Now it's trying to gap again. It does have a PR. Completes contract signing, blah, blah, blah. But they've been PRing a lot, so. No real high hopes for PR. Says the float's 20 for GER. Says the float's 20 mil or so. No opinion on it for now. We got SOPA, another bottom bouncer type play here, coming from a little bit higher priced. Looks like sxtc, CPHI. Looks like a bottom bouncer day for now, but we'll see. We got SOPA, Society Pass, another kind of just garbage ticker recently that tried to run a little bit recently already from 40 to 80. So it's already done that somewhat recently. I don't like that necessarily. GNS is dog crap, but it doesn't mean that they can't run, I suppose. They're on the pump again. These guys, if you don't remember them, I made really good money here back earlier in the year when they were fighting the naked shorts, and he was going on YouTube pumping his stock every day and this and this and that. And of course they go back sub one, and of course they're going to end up doing a split because they've already tried to run. You know, they ran last week, the week before, and they've just struggled, man. This is the run I was talking about. They've already run recently. Could they multi-day breakout? They could. I'm not saying they couldn't. Could they multi-day breakout? They could. I would just temper my expectations, that's all. And by multi-day breakout, I mean a break of this like 175 level. But for now, not much there, y'all. I don't see much there. Let's see here. Questions. I'm going to get to all of your questions too. I have been looking at them. That's why the tickers I've been mentioning. Some of them I've been mentioning those, but let me get DT up. Where's DT? Dilution tracker. This is what I use every morning just to make sure I'm hitting these fundies, these fundamentals really quick. So it says overall risk medium on sxtc. Looks like they have some convertible notes. Not too many warrants or anything, but they do have some convertible notes. Not registered. Nothing too crazy there. And all I like to do this all at once. What is that? Hold on. SLNA just hit my scan right now. And this can happen, you know. Let me, didn't it? Yeah, it's just popping off right now. Is there a PR? They just PR, or they PR this morning about a strategic global alliance offering unique benefits to the global community. I don't know what that is. It doesn't look like anything special. But let's see here. This is one of those ones that faded over the last few days. Pretty decently. We've seen these get all the way back to where they came from. These big fades recently, if they've been fading 80, 70, 60 down to 50, 40, 30, we've been seeing them bounce all the way back to where they came from. It's weird. But it's of note to understand that. It looks like it already is trying to do that. 75 cents, 36 was the low. Already hit 70 cents this morning, so that may be worth a watch too. TUP hit my scan this morning. You know, pretty beaten down now, but this, honestly, in my opinion, started getting smacked by the markets, and it had gotten overextended. I mean, it went 60 cents to $6. And this is the beauty of these things, man. These bottom bouncers, when they're working really, really well, which they didn't they were okay last week and the week before. They've been great all year, actually. We've seen bottom bouncers all year long, right? Which for small accounts, man, it's a great price range to try to learn to trade. It's one of my favorite price ranges to trade, especially with a smaller account, just for the fact that I can still find 5-10 cents a share, but I can take them on, if with a smaller account, I can take 10,000, 15, 20,000 shares and still make $1,000 from that 10 cents. So it's like, it's a really cool scenario if you figure it out. That being said, 5 cents down, 10 cents down, you're also going to lose your $500,000. So it's something that you have to understand. You got to really control risk, especially as you put on size. But when I'm playing stocks that are like 8 cents, like we were seeing last week, 10 cents, 15 cents, I'm trying to take 50, 100, 200, 300,000 shares if I can. On my account size, I'm not recommending anyone do anything ever. Like I said, the downside is the most important side. And that's something I always preach. If you can control your downside in your trading, you can extend your upside. You can start working on just now extending your upside, because you understand how to mitigate risk, manage risk, cut losses quickly, stay disciplined, and make sure as long as I'm controlling that aspect of my trading, everything else is not going to be too far off the way I like to trade. As long as I'm controlling downside, the upside takes care of itself the way that I trade. The targets that I set, they're freaking reasonable, and they're where everyone else likes to buy. They're where all the shorts step in. So all my targets are very reasonable targets. The only mistake I'll make within those targets is not sizing out at the appropriate rate, which is almost never perfect, but I'm always tweaking it based on the markets and the patterns and all that good stuff. So we've only got 3 minutes left. I can tell you that on this Monday morning, I am going to be pretty dang chill. If anything, I'll be looking for maybe a few singles, but nothing concrete. I'm going to let this morning shake. I'm going to let this morning tell me what's going on, especially with the trepidation in the markets last week. I'm going to let the Qs and the SPY and NASDAQ and all these indices work their way around a little bit this morning for a few minutes and see what they're going to do. All right. Trying a gap, but a really weak week last week. So that's the idea for me. Be patient. I'll probably wait about 10 to 15 minutes to trade this morning. All right. Big Chat asks, how do I not control myself getting sucked into sxtc if it goes at the open? Do I completely tie my hands up and ignore the first 5 minutes? Yes. Listen, guys, if a stock I'm watching starts spiking out the gate and I can't tell you where I'm going to risk and where that reward is and why it's worth it for me to then be in it, I ignore it. First of all, if any stock I'm looking just starts spiking out the gate, it's a morning spike pattern and I fucking ignore it. All right. The only other move for me when we get a morning spike, if sxtc, for example, spikes to 35 cents, the only other move is for me to play the first pullback. And that first pullback, I would want to see get back towards low of day. Feel me? It's weird, but that's what I need. I need good risk reward. And then I can press back to high day if it's going to hold. Or back, same targets, but then back to VWAP, back to high day, back to pre-market highs. Whichever order they land in, those are my targets. Wherever everyone else is buying, I make sure that those are my targets and how can I get good risk reward to those targets. I hope that makes so much sense to you guys. If you can go about it this way, I promise, in terms of trading small cap, you are going to be better than 90% of these fucking people out here that don't know what they're doing. That's what, like that question you asked, I get it. How do I control myself? Exactly through this process of waiting to get great risk reward. And if it's spiking and I can't get it, then I don't trade it. All right, then I just don't trade it. It's that simple. Or I wait for a first pullback, which is not my preferred thing. That's a big deal, y'all. It's a big deal. You know, if you can figure out how to sell to yourself pretty much, sell all the spots that you used to buy, into them and out of them, you will make money. Almost no matter what. And this is what I preach to everyone. This is why my students right now in my chat room, this Discord chat, the Wolfpack, is people are blowing up, man. Not blowing up in a bad way. I mean, blowing up in a good way. Like their accounts are growing. They are managing risk. They have confidence for the first time. A lot of these people in like 2 or 3 or 4 years of their trading because they've just been having no process, no real process. They thought they've had process. And they realize, wow, all the places that I like to buy and that all the other gurus and teachers tell me to buy, this man sells to me. Like, you know, like, and if you can figure that out, shit, man. There's so much more to it, but the way I frame my trades, the way I look at the markets, the way I look at where I need to sell, frames where I need to buy. And I've settled into, hey, guess what? I can find lows or be at or around and near enough lows to where, guess what? If this trade doesn't work, I don't take big losses anyways. If you're buying through pre-market highs, okay, if you're buying here when it spikes up there, if you're buying through VWAP break, if you're buying the morning spike and high of days, you are putting yourself at risk because at the end of the day, if I'm buying at 46 cents, I like to look at this as 3 cents reward and low a day risk. Or in this case, 30 cents risk, 25 cents risk from here. Inverse risk reward. If I'm buying through pre-market highs here, if I'm buying through VWAP, I still see this as inverse risk reward. I see it as like resistance, and then still low of day. Same through high a day. All of those areas, okay? And 30 minutes is not a lot of time to speak and get through this kind of concept, but it is really, really important, okay? All right, you guys, I hope you really, really enjoyed the pre-market prep this morning. I'm going to try to get on YouTube and do some more live trading, actual trading for you sometimes if I can. I've actually got about 4 YouTubes ready to get up, actual videos, which we're going to be just throwing a bunch of strategies and a bunch of stuff up on YouTube for you if we can. Just the basic stuff. And see if we can't help some more of you longs out there, because I've been on YouTube over the last however long. I've been watching it just to see what, you know, people are putting out there. And I'm not happy with a lot of it in terms of what it is. It's just the same canned crap that doesn't work for anyone, really. So that's pretty much it. Any questions? I'll take a few questions before I wrap up. If you've gotten something from this stream, please hit the like button. It helps me a lot. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be dropping all the heat. Going to be dropping it for you. So We are going to be live trading in the Wolf Pack. For those who aren't in the pack, we do it every single day, Monday through Friday. We're trading live. Every morning I do live webinars. We do pre-market prep like this every single morning. We do power hour prep like this every single day. I do one-on-one training every single day for 2 hours between 11 and 1 my time, 12 and 2 Eastern. It's honestly the most comprehensive group out there right now, because I have made it my mission for the next 4 years, not 4 years, well, however long, but for the next 4 or 5 months till the end of this year, to see what I can do with these students in the group that are starting to push. And I'm trying to make as many successful traders as possible right now. And the momentum's building up, so I'm super excited. And I know a huge part of this has come from these one-on-one sessions, because I'm able to... The thing about trading, man, and the thing about this space is everyone is just like, buy my shit, watch my shit, and then hopefully you'll get good. Man, I don't know one mentorship or one coach that I ever had in any sport or anything where I did actually get really, really good without some... It's not a mentor, in other words. It's just like, watch my crap. You know what I mean? It's marketing. It's all nonsense. So for me, the one-on-one stuff's been just like unreal, man. Just spending time with you guys, understanding what your problems are individually, coming up with individual plans, and then seeing the progress you make over the next couple weeks and months has been freaking beautiful for me and really jazzed me, dude. I'm just like amped to be at my desk with my students all day instead of traveling around and shit. So again, if you guys enjoyed this and you want me to keep doing these things, please smash that like for me. Love you all. I got to get to my people. If you're Wolfpack, I'll catch you guys in the Discord, and we are going to be in the Alpha Lounge for voice commentary and live webinar. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. Stay safe out there. Stay disciplined. Don't chase. Figure out how to get these entries locked so that you can sell into the right areas, right? And kind of just change the script for yourself, man. You know, change your perspective. Get yourself going in a different direction, and things can really, really bloom from there. If you're just stuck trading the same strategies and the same ideas and learning from the same people, and you've been learning for years, you are not going to get anywhere further just from being in the same spot, doing the same things for years longer. You're going to be in the same spot years from now. So when I'm teaching and when I'm trying to work with traders, my goal is always to change your perspective as quickly as possible, man. As quickly as possible, to give you a swift kick in the right direction, all right? In a different direction, which is what's working for my students. So I'm going to keep coming to YouTube and hopefully helping you guys change your perspective as well and change your trajectory, really, is at the end of the day is what I'm trying to help accomplish for you guys. And understand that all the commonly accepted strategies, especially in terms of small mid-cap stocks, are very crappy from a risk-reward standpoint. I like my trades to be the kind where I can ignore it till tomorrow. And the worst case that's going to happen is I'll be down 3 or 5% tomorrow on my trade. So as opposed to maybe tomorrow I wake up and I'm down 50% because I was chasing through high day yesterday, right? All right, my friends, I got to go. I got to get to trading. Love you all. Stay safe. I'll catch you guys next week. Mm-mm-mm-mm.